Hello, everyone. Welcome again for another wonderful session of Sister to Sister, Straight Up Real Talk. I am your co-host, Veronica Hardy, along with my beautiful sister, Jacqueline Whitaker, who is also our co-host. We want to thank you all for coming in once again as being strong supporters of us. We give glory to God for another day. As we look around today, I know this week for our state, many of the children have started back to school, and some started today, and I think throughout this week it will be trickling in and going back to school. In saying that, it was at my church yesterday. It was a pleasure, to know that God is always looking over us all, but our pastor takes out the time to pray for the young people as they go back to school. Because as we know, they need prayers. Hey, Jack, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
I am great. I am doing really
Good.
I
Just setting up this camera.
Yes, good. I was just
Yeah.
saying that on Sunday, our pastor did prayers for our young people as they were getting ready to go back to school. And I think that's an awesome.
That's wonderful.
It is because, as we know, our children need those prayers. We want scholars, we want children to be on the honor roll. We want them to feel good about themselves. We want them to feel safe as they enter a place from their homes to another safe place. So we ask God to, come in and cover them as they go to and from school and protect them and protect our educators as well. So we give glory to God for that. Yeah, in saying all of that, today with our buzz conversation, it is going to be something that is absolutely powerful, something that we look at in life, and it should be something that should have been spoken about many times, but they tend to shunt it. They tend to shunt it.
Mm-hmm.
And saying that it's a population of people that are strong people, but very much unappreciated. So our buzz conversation, that brings me to drawing me to what our buzz conversation is actually about for this evening. But before I say any of that, again, I want to say to everyone, thank you again for coming in. We appreciate you all. We want you all to continuously keep sharing. You've been doing a tremendous job with the sharing. As I say, sharing is caring. So keep sending out those sharing messages to everyone because people are chiming in. And we want to just ask you guys to continue sending out your comments, hitting that like button, and just know that we appreciate everything that you guys do for us. Because these are messages that my sister and I send out. But it's not just for us, because we can conversate with each other anytime. But we want you all to be able to hear the information that we are being poured into. As we get poured into, we are pouring it back into you all. So again, we appreciate you all as being our supporters, and we ask that you continuously share. It's very powerful, this sharing method. Thank you for that. So in saying all of that, our buzz conversation today is called Being a Black Woman in America. The Black woman, the most disrespected person in America, is a Black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the Black woman. The most neglected woman in America is the Black woman. And this is all quoted by Malcolm X.
That's right.
This is a brutally but honest and powerful quote. However, However, we see and experience this every day as being Black women of America. We are undervalued,
Mm-hmm.
unappreciated, underpaid, unprotected, and very, very much misunderstood. Yet, there are very, very high standards and expectations for us as Black women to be who they want us to be and who they feel we should be and how we should carry ourselves and how we should do for other people. And here's just some examples of what the Black women experience on a regular basis. The angry Black woman, as we're being told. Oh, that's an angry Black woman. The stereotype that Black women are angry when they become upset about something that has an effect on them. This starts to limit us and our abilities to show up authentically as to who we are, and it forces us to shut down our true emotions.
Yes.
The Black woman and maternal mortality. We had Jack and I actually did a podcast on this entirely. The alarming rates in which Black women die during childbirth or shortly after, to the concerns of not taking us seriously enough. Yes.
Right.
So this in itself states to America that our lives really don't matter much. Black women and the pay gaps. Stats say that the Black women working full-time makes 63 cents for every dollar paid to white non-Hispanic men. Basically, we never are good enough compared to our white counterparts. Twice as good. That's what they have to be, twice as good. Having to work twice as good, twice as hard as everyone else, almost all the time, for everything that we do. It shows us as Black women being successful in America comes with hefty prices that often feels like too much to pay. Black women and their hair, their natural hairstyles, the lack of respect for Black hairstyles in the workplace as experienced. Discouragement of our protective styles and our kinky coils. This states Blackness is definitely an issue. So what is your take on all of that, Jay?
I think that all of that is true. I mean, as a Black women ourselves, we've experienced every bit of that in one form or another. And Black women are faced with unique challenges, which are, of course, rooted in racism and sexism. These challenges are manifested in social interactions that we have, professional settings, and the healthcare, which you mentioned. However, there's one thing, few things, that Black women has demonstrated remarkably. Our resilience, our strength, and our cultural richness. This is what pushes us to have our own space and make remarkable contributions to society. Despite these obstacles, we're resilient, and our strength comes through the fact that we create strong communities. Black women in our community are very strong. We've always been the first front out there, making sure that our children are connected to churches, making sure that we're bonded with each other in the community. We support a system to navigate challenges and celebrate our culture. That is done by the Black woman. We're overcome so many obstacles. that society put in front of us. We constantly demonstrates perseverance in various aspects of our lives. All the things that you mentioned, we continue to fight and be preserved. We may be depressed about some of these things, but we know that we have to get up and what we have to do, because we always had to do it from the time of slavery. We've always had to do it. We advocate and we are activism. We're the ones, Black women, was historically been at the forefront of social justice movements and fighting for equality and liberation. Cultural contributions. Black women have made significant contributions to the art, to the music, literature, and other fields. I mean, look at Beyonce. Look at Serena Williams. Look at all of these women throughout history that have made America stand out in so many things. Look at Michelle Obama. She was our first lady, and she did it with dignity and respect.
That's right.
She showed them what a Black woman is, and that's who we are. She brought all of that component to the world so that they could see. But America, even with all of that, they still continue to want to place the Black woman down, even though we're the ones that stand up strong, no matter what happens. We're very, very strong women.
That's true. Very, very strong.
And we're important. We're the ones that served on the front line in the fight for equality. We were there.
Yes.
Rosa Parks, we were there. We were the voice, the initial voice that came out and said, we got to do something. I refuse to do anymore. I won't go back to the back of the bus. So we have played an important significance in the civil rights and women's movement. Even when the women's movement came about and there was no women couldn't vote, and I'm talking about white women, they had no voice, they couldn't vote, they couldn't do any of it. But it's the Black women that came forth and said, we can do this.
Right.
We can work to making these things happen. They didn't want to look at the rights that we needed, what was going on with us, but we elevated where they were so that they could get the right to vote, and along with them, we could get it as well. Right.
That's right.
Okay. We pushed for that. But will history say that? No. But it's the truth. You know, it is something that happened. We struggle as Black women. Department of Justice estimate that 1 in 5 Black women have experienced rape. More than 40% experience physical violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime. It's estimated that 51.3% of Black female homicides are related to intimate partner violence. Black women go through a lot, but we stand firm.
We stand firm.
We bounce back.
Yes.
We continue to know what's relevant and what we need to do.
Right, right.
You know, and that goes in the workplace, wherever we're at. The workplace is one of the most areas that you find a lot of discrimination and bias.
Oh, yes, yes.
You know, we can be the most brilliant person, you know, and be given the titles, directors, you know, presidents, whatever. We can be given that, but we're still questioned whether we can
Real question.
do the part.
That's right. That is so true.
Whether we can do the part.
Yes, yes. And that, I don't know if they'll ever stop that, because it's just something that they feel, and they will look at you and try and make you feel small about yourself. But we as women, educated women, we already know who we are.
Yes.
So you have to still hold who you are as a person, no matter what they say, no matter how they feel about you. Press on, because as you said, this goes way back from slavery days. That's why we're able to press on, because we have encountered so many things within our lives that
Yes.
we are resilient. We bounce back. That's who we are. And that is something they can never, ever take from us, because you can see and categorize it where you may have the Black woman, and then you'll have other women, and they could never do the same things as we have been through.
Yes.
They
Yes.
tend to, get very depressed. They just can't keep up the stamina as we are and as we have gone through.
Yes.
Because that's just, it's not in them.
Right.
To be
Right.
honest, it's just not in them to do it. But
Right.
for us, as I say, we have gone through so many different challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen many things in life, many things, and it just actually builds us to become stronger.
Yes.
Because when you look at it and you say, as you said, they look at us and they don't feel that we are enough. But if we place it in our minds that we are, it doesn't matter how they feel about you.
Right. Right.
You will be successful if you choose to be successful. It's not about them. It's about what you have inside of you.
That's right.
And if you can press on through your challenges, because you're going to have those challenges. As I always say, you're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs. But all through the glory of God, you will be able to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
And no one can really hold you back. Because as they state, we have been made constantly to feel we're not enough. And if we are enough, then sometimes they'll say, oh, they're too much. They're doing too much.
Yes.
They'll look at you in that aspect of it.
Yes.
Then it turns to, ultimately, this leads to Black women making themselves feel like they have to, fit and feel small about spaces that
Mm-hmm.
was never really meant for us in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
This actually will turn us to feeling depressed, anxiety, as if we have to be these perfectionists and have low self-esteem. But that's why I say, don't worry about what they say. Keep it in your mind, what you need to do, because we've been dealing with these type of incidents and situations for many, many years.
Yes. Yes.
So just press on, because it is unfair, it is unjust, but they will try and put you in this box because they don't want you to experience, because they know ultimately it's the Black woman that will rise and make this world what it really is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Black women are very, very strong, but we
Yes,
have to be. We always had to be. We were raised that way
that's
because
right.
our parents had to go through it. And each and every day, as a Black woman, when you leave your home, you are confronted in one way or another
Mm-hmm.
that either you're not good enough, or why are you looking this way, etc. There's so many things that they put upon us to
Mm-hmm.
make us feel like we're not worthy, but
Right.
we know that we're worthy,
Yes.
because that's why we keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we will always keep moving, even in a leadership role. There are many challenges there for the Black woman. Black women leaders often face systemic biases, microaggression,
Mm-hmm.
and what they call the glass cliff phenomenon. And what that is, the glass cliff is, they are often more likely to be placed in a crisis-prone leadership role,
Right.
which increases pressure and the risk of failure.
Right.
Okay, they'll put you there because they know you can do the work, but they want you to do well, she can do it, put her there.
Yes.
Okay, she can sustain the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But if you make one mistake, you're out of there. Whereas somebody else of a different color can make the same mistake, but they're still there. And you find that in any kind of job.
Mm-hmm.
Stereotypes Black women face stereotypes that can lead to assumptions and incompetence or the expectation of being uniquely strong and self-sufficient. To
Right.
them, oh, she's a strong Black woman, she can do this, she can do it, as if we have no feelings,
That's right.
as if we have no feelings. But
Mm-hmm.
we do. We feel, we bleed like everybody else. We
Right.
have emotions like every other woman, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But we have been faced with such negativeness all of our lives
Right.
that we know how to play the game.
Yes. And
You
go
know,
forward.
we learn how to play the game.
Yes.
Okay. We know how it's important that we rise,
Mm-hmm.
that we don't think, that we rise. So we
Mm-hmm.
may have a bad day yesterday, but today, when we come home at night, when we get up the next day, we're resilient. We're
That's
going
right.
to bounce right back.
Bounce back.
Show them who we are. We're scrutinized.
Mm-hmm.
We're heavily scrutinized, and mistakes are more harshly penalized when we're in our leadership position. Many times they'll give you a position and don't even give you support, but
That's
they'll give the
right.
next person who's not the same color as you so much report. So you got to figure it out yourself.
Right.
And we do. We figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's
many
frustrating.
cultivate a strong sense of identity to remain unique and resilient.
Mm-hmm.
We use a lot of our emotional intelligence, which is the ability to control our emotions and, work with other people and have a better understanding and to respond to others' needs. We're in a leadership position. We're able to do that because we know what it feels like
Right.
and how important it is for another individual to succeed. So
Mm-hmm.
we will do a lot more than someone else to help that incoming individual.
Mm-hmm.
We would mentor that person. We become their role model because we've been there and we've done that. So
Right.
we own our experiences and we pass that on.
Mm-hmm.
We have strategy leadership. For instance, I talked about the glass cliff. They put us there, the most toughest situation, but we strategize. We turn a crisis situation into an opportunity for change, positive change. Anybody that's in leadership position that's brown and Black, they do that because they have to. They
Yeah.
will take that and they will strategize it and they will come up with situations as to how to meet this and how to make it work out. We've always had to make something work out,
We did. We
you
did.
know?
Yes. And that just brings me back, and you saying that because they will put you in positions, especially if you are you may be the only Black person or the only Black woman, and or very few of you, I would say that when they put you in those positions, sometimes they put you there just to see if you're going to be successful, just to see, because I can reflect back on when I was put in a position, and at the time I believe that it wasn't very many. It was only a few of us in case management at that particular time, and they were shocked that they selected the people around me were surprised, but the management knew my skills and they called me over and they were telling me, you're a great worker, we want this, and they built me up. And when they did, and I did have some great support, I must say that, but in saying that, you were there and you just kind of had to do a lot on your own. And it was like a feeling of if you make it, you make it, or if you don't, you don't. You know what I mean? So they're going to give more to our white counterparts.
Yes.
Where with myself, I had to grasp and gather up all and any information I could. And believe me, I did it. And I was very successful in doing it because I went all the way to the end that I got, I was getting praises for the job that I was doing. But I also noticed that they can, our counterparts, they will do like half the job where you have to do overly and abundantly. And then they're wondering, why are you saying later? Why are you doing this? because I have to be successful because I am that Black woman. You
Right.
are not. You
Right.
can get away with things where I can't.
Mm-hmm.
So I pushed further, and to God's glory, it was success for me.
Right.
It
Right.
was very successful because all of my leaders and managers, uh, they liked my work,
Yeah.
but it was not anything less than what I deserved what I got
Mm-hmm.
because I pressed myself and I
Right.
did what I had to
Get
do.
it done. That's
If
right.
I was a counterpart, I could have got away with a lot of the things that they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
I could have never did
Oh no, you
that.
can't do that.
I could have never done that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I knew what I had to do,
Yeah.
and I stood strong.
Yeah.
For a lot of them, they eliminated them,
Yeah.
but they kept me, and
Mm-hmm.
I retired from there and
Right.
everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I got a lot of achievements in doing it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm thankful. It was all through the glory of God, I know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
these are the things as Black women, we have to be on cue for everything, every step that we make.
That's right. That's
Every step.
yeah. I
Because
was just gonna say, I have a friend who's a social worker in
mhm,
Connecticut, and she was telling me that, she's the only one in her department that
mhm,
happens to be Black,
yeah,
and that when they're at meetings and she mentioned, situations and how it needs to be handled or what's going on. She says it's in a recommendation. She says that it's as if they didn't even hear her. And she
yeah,
brings up, she said, but she can remember in one meeting she brought it up. She said, and well, blah, blah, blah. She said, and a half an hour later, another person of a different color brought it up. And they said, oh yeah, that's a good idea. She said, that person said, well, that's what Janie just said.
yeah,
I mentioned
yeah,
her name. I
yeah,
didn't mention her name.
yeah,
But that's what she just said.
yeah,
But it goes to show that, you can be in the most best position and
yes,
make good money. But when it comes to making decisions and you want to bring that forth and you're the only one that happen to be brown in the room, they don't really want to hear that. They act as if they don't hear that. They ignore what you're saying, as if
mhm,
your voice is never quite good enough,
right, right,
with what you're bringing forth. So you could be, like I said, a senior, a director, a head of anything, a title, doesn't matter.
it doesn't
It's
matter,
the fact that it's coming from you.
right,
That many times, you're looked at that your opinion is not valued, you know,
mhm, mhm,
and that does happen. I mean, it happened to me a couple of times too,
mhm,
in situations like that. And then come to find out, well, yeah, Jackie was right. But
yeah,
the problem is that when we get these roles, we deserve it because
we
we work
deserve it,
hard and we know
yes,
what we're doing. We know
yes,
what we're doing. And
that's
for
right,
some people, not all people, act this way. But for some people, it's very hard for them to grasp that this Afro-American woman is telling me this,
mhm,
and I didn't think of it myself,
mhm,
sort of thing. You know, there was a study that was done at Harvard Kennedy School, found that Black women are the only race gender group whose turnover and promotions are negatively impacted by the racial composition of their coworkers.
mhm,
Now, isn't that something? And that
yes,
was a
it
study that was
is,
done by the Harvard Kennedy School.
mhm,
But many times when you're in a leadership position, they want to micromanage you,
yes, yes, that's
and
true,
overtask you,
mhm, mhm,
and you don't need that.
right, right.
And if you have a counterpartner who happens to be a different color, who don't know, they'll make excuses. Well, she's new. Well, she's having a difficult time or something like that.
Right.
You go to have a difficult time or whatever, they expect you to be Johnny on the spot.
That's right. Or
You
you
know?
won't be there. You won't be
Yeah.
there long. You will not be there long.
And it's like everything is our responsibility,
Mhm.
but nothing is our choice.
That's right.
You
That
know?
is so true. Very
Yeah.
true about that. And I
Mhm.
just wanted to bring up the fact that as I was speaking before about the Black women and the hairstyles,
Yeah.
I can reflect back some years ago. now I'm retired, but working in downtown in the city. And I was coming out because I worked in insurance, as you know, and I was coming out of the office, and it was lunchtime, and they had it was the TV stations. They were downtown, and I guess different things were happening. But this one woman, she asked me if I would be willing to talk about Black women hairstyles. So,
Uh-huh.
and I said, what are you referring to, Black women hairstyles? She said, well, you know, right now there is an issue with Black women wearing braids. And I was like, well, and so she said, would you be willing? I said, of course. So I wasn't wearing them, but I said to her that I think as long as any hairstyle that you wear is neat, it's clean, it's nothing wrong with you wearing that. You are representing who you are. And why should that be an issue? So she said she appreciated me speaking out on that because at that time it was something going on where they looked at the Black hairstyle as if it was an issue, as if it was going to cause them a problem. I guess I don't really know what was going on. But I thought, isn't this crazy? Because you can see some of our counterpartners,
Mm-hmm.
and they come in with their hair looking just as crazy as can be. But these women and men at the time wearing braids, and it was just as neat and clean, but they had a problem with them and their hairstyles. I couldn't imagine. And do you know that commercial, she made it, it was a commercial, and it played for about 6 months or longer because I remember my mother-in-law saying, oh, that's Ronnie on TV. And I didn't even know myself that it was playing like that. And the woman, she was just so happy that I, you know, said that I would
Right.
speak
Right.
out regarding that. And I was like, yeah, of course. I said, it's not something that I particularly care to wear. I said, but as long as people like it, it's clean, it's neat, and it's nothing wrong with it, why wouldn't they be able to show who they are?
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
so yeah, so I wanted to mention that because as they were referring to Black women and their hairstyles, natural hairstyles, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
And why should that be an issue to them? But it is.
Yeah. 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 And you're absolutely right about that. I mean, it says that, but you look at the world today, you see, to me, it's so crazy because when you look at the world today, you see people with red hair, yellow hair, blue hair. You know, they have
Yeah,
jobs
awesome.
and they're not of the same color as we are,
Yeah.
and people are expressing themselves in different ways. And I believe that Black women, we have always expressed ourselves. You
Yes.
know, we can wear so many various hairstyles
Mhm.
and clothes that make us look beautiful, you know,
Yes.
and stunning.
Yeah.
And you know, but how you wear your hair should never determine, you know,
Mhm.
your capability or your intelligence level.
Right. Right.
Um, because there's so many people that are, when you look at them in history, you would say, wow, I didn't know that that person was so intelligent, because they may not look it, you
Hmm.
know, they may look like a geek, or they may look, you know, totally unkept or whatever, but really they're brainy people, you
Yes.
know, they have a lot of knowledge where they have contributed to the world. And, but Black women in particular, you know, I think that for some reason, we're not looked at as, I shouldn't say beautiful, because we are beautiful, but
Yes.
it's very hard for other nationalities to see us or want to say that we're beautiful. I think they know that we're beautiful. A lot of women are beautiful that are brown skinned women, and they'll stop and they'll stare, but they don't want to let other people know that they're staring at us. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Yes.
there are beautiful women across the world, you
Hmm.
know, of various colors. Um, But the black woman has always been the one that has been looked upon, because when we came into this country, we came in as slaves.
Right.
And our whole purpose was to be exploited, was to be raped, was to bring forth children, mulattoes or whatever you want to call them, so that they can tend to the cotton and do the work and all that kind of stuff. And it's very, and when people of this society that are not our color says that we're the most barbaric people, well, we're not.
Right.
It was your ancestors that were barbaric. It wasn't us, you know. We didn't do those things. We didn't treat people like animals, and we didn't, you know, kill them and rape them and sell and sold their children off, you know, for money or anything like that. We didn't do that.
Right.
But yet, with all of that, we are in this country. We have done and contribute as women, black women, not only black women, but black males as well. But we're talking about women. Black women has been influential in this country and have played an inspiring role. You look at, like I said, our First Lady, Michelle Obama. She was the best First Lady I had ever seen. No scandal or nothing between her or her husband in this society. And Serena Williams, no one has been able to beat her on the court. She is astonishing. Then you got Harriet Tubman for way back.
Yeah.
I mean, she was the one that brought the slaves through.
Yes.
To freedom.
That's right.
She was a freedom fighter. What
Yes.
woman have ever done that of color? It was she who did it, a black woman. Madam J. Walker was the first black millionaire, female black millionaire with her hair products.
That's right.
She was smart enough to put stuff together and give products for black women. That was phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
And then you have Katherine Johnson. Katherine Johnson was the one, she's the one who was portrayed really in Hidden Figures in
Yes,
NASA. She was the one that helped them get there.
That's right. Those
She
were
was a
astronauts. That's right. Get to
mathematician.
that moon. Yes, she did.
That Katherine, she was the one that did that. Out
Yes.
of all the people of
Yes.
various colors, it wasn't them, it was her. She
Right.
was that smart. God gave her the mentality to be that smart, to be a mathematician, where she was able to bring him home.
Yes.
Calculate all of that, and did it for years even after that. And then just recently, you got Dr. Kismia Corbett. Okay, she was the scientist behind COVID-19, which killed thousands of people.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, it was her that was behind the vaccine, a black woman. Okay, or more people would have died, because we had a president that didn't want to tell the people and wasn't proactive. So
That's right.
thousands and thousands and thousands of people died in
Yes.
this country. This woman developed that, the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine.
Right.
Okay, just recently. Okay, 2020, 2019, it was her. So when people say, you know, black women are angry and they're hostile and all this, come on, give us a break.
That's right. That's right.
Give us a break. That's ridiculous. You need to know your history of what we have done for this country after we were raped
Yes.
and brought children into the world. We still
Yes.
love this country enough to bring forth wonderful things. Wonderful things.
Yes.
We
And
think
that,
there's so many more. Oprah Winfrey, Maya Angelou, all of those black women have played pivotal roles in shaping the culture, science, politics, activism, and the arts. After overcoming systemic barriers to leaving lasting legacies. That's what they did in this country.
yes.
Now we have, unfortunately, a president who wants to get rid of our history.
I know.
If
It's
you
not that-
imagine
it's sad.
if we were a cartoonist now and we were able to come and erase everything, if we erased the way he wants to do, black culture and black this and negativeness and all that, there would be no lights in this country.
Okay.
No
But-
street lights.
Girl,
There will be no heart.
That's right. That's
If
right.
we were cartoonists and we were able to wipe through everything, there would be no White House.
For him to even live
Yeah, because we don't build that. That's
it.
right.
There would be people would be dying of COVID-19.
Yes.
You know, you
Yes.
understand what the COVID. You
Oh,
understand?
yeah.
There would be so many things that the Black people have created in this country. All of that would be erased.
That's right.
We were
That's right.
cartoonists and we did what he did and we erased all of that.
That's
There
right.
would
Even
be
with the
nothing
heart.
left.
And with the
There would
heart
be
too.
nothing left here.
That's right. Even though it wasn't a woman, but it was a black male with a heart and all of that.
It was our people.
It was our people.
So that's what people need to think about. You talk about erasing history, then you talk about erasing all those things that the Black people did.
That's right. That's right.
That caused this country to be where it is today, to be rich in cotton and all of that. If all of that was erased, people ever think about that? They don't.
No, because we're that hidden figures. We're those hidden figures that they don't want to speak about. They know that we do, that we've done all of these things.
That's right.
But to
And
give
as
us
Black
the
women,
credit, to give us the credit, they would never want to do that.
Yes, and as Black women, we brought forth the Black babies.
That's right.
That ended up creating all of this.
Yes.
Okay, but there is one thing that I have to say: they portrayed our Black women as being, like I said, angry and promiscuous and all this kind of stuff. And some of the shows that they got on now, what are some of the shows where they have the women dating and they're wearing the short dresses and all that kind of stuff? You know, the Black women make, and they're portraying us as if we are, promiscuous. We're bad women. We don't have any morals and all this kind of stuff. Those are the kind of shows that they're showing now on some of these, and these are some of the things that our children are looking at. And I can't stand them. I don't even watch them because I think they're disgusting. But
the backbashers, yeah.
But that's TV. That's TV, and people trying to make money. That's not who we are.
That's not who we
are.
Nope. Not at all. And in saying that, we are Black women of America, and we are strong.
Yes.
We are beautiful. We are intelligent, driven. Like you said, we don't give up. We keep pushing through. We are courageous, determined. If we can't get it to go one way, we'll circle around and we'll say, okay, wait a minute. Let's go back and think about this.
Right.
We're going to get it through. But we just got to go in a different direction. So we are determined. We are worthy. Yes, we are worthy people. So we don't have to worry about anything because we are worthy. We're caring. We care about one another. We care about this country. Even though they have beaten us down and looked at us as less than, we still have that caring heart.
Yes.
We will pray for you. We will be there for you. We will help you. We will give you food. We will give you something to drink. We will nourish you as mothers, as grandmothers. We are the ones that have pushed America through. Yes. We are goal-oriented women. That's who we are. We are resilient, and we are most definitely magical.
Yeah.
We make things happen. We make things happen out of nowhere.
That's right.
Okay? People give up. But we say, no. We're going to make it happen. And it happens. So we are all of that. And that's who we are. Black women of America. We are strong.
Right. And those are strong qualities of a strong Black woman. We hold others accountable for their actions and has our own strong ethics and values.
Yes.
We nurture, like you said, and take care of others. We're givers who really think of others and not ourselves many times.
That's right. Yes.
We fought our way through tough circumstances and survived to tell the story.
Oh, yes.
We continue to do that because we stand on the backbone of strong Black women throughout history.
Yes.
And our generation will continue to do that. And the generation after us will continue to do that. Because there's one thing that people don't realize. as Black mothers, we teach our children
Mm-hmm.
that they must be strong. That
Yes.
we don't teach them that everything is going to be perfect for them. We don't tell them that.
Right.
You know, no matter how successful they may be, we tell them, you pray. Because anything can happen at any moment. And you stand strong and you be resilient.
Yes.
We teach our children that at all aspects. I can remember when I worked at the Institute of Living, I had a young Caucasian guy who was a teenager, probably about 16 or 17 years old. And when I did his admission and his assessment, he said to me, he said, Miss Jackie, and I said, yes. And he said, I don't mean no harm. He said, but if I was Black like you, he said, I would have killed myself a long time ago.
Oh my goodness.
That's what he said to me. And I said, don't say that. He said, but I said, because the world treats y'all so bad.
Mm.
He said, I
Even
couldn't even imagine
Mm.
being a Black person.
Oh
And
my
he was like
goodness.
16 or 17 years old. He said, I couldn't even imagine it. He said, I'm here because I'm depressed over what I'm depressed over. You know, I
Right.
can't say it on TV.
He
He
realized.
said, but you, every single day you go out your house, it's the same thing. He
Mm.
said,
Mm.
I would have killed myself a long time ago.
Mm.
And
Mm.
I looked at him and I said, well, we learn to adapt and move on and to be strong and
That's
to
right.
realize that these people are just ignorant,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
And he said, I understand that. He said, but y'all some strong people. That's what he
Yes.
said. He said, y'all
Yes.
some strong people. And that came from a 16 or 17-year-old Caucasian guy,
Yes.
young
That's
man. And he was aware of what the Afro-American people in general experience each and every day. And he was talking to a Black woman. So he was saying what I experience every single day
right.
as well,
Right.
you know.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we teach our children that they must be
Yes.
strong. We teach
We
them
teach
what's
them.
out there and what to expect and not
Mhm.
to be shocked by it because it's still there,
That's right.
you know.
Yeah, and you're right about that because reflecting back, as for our family, we can look back because we've always had strong Black women in our family, and our great grandmother was a midwife,
Yeah.
and she, from what they told, I didn't know, but the stories that were being told to me, she was like the doctor, and that whole everybody knew Grandma Bet. Grandma
Mhm.
Bet, everybody knew her. Anything that needed to be, to help them to get healed by whatever they were going through, they would contact her.
Yeah.
Babies being born. She
Yeah.
taught our grandmother certain things. And
Yeah.
our grandmother was a very smart woman where she would be able to even, if you had things going on with your stomach that was upsetting your stomach, she would tell us things, what we could do and how we could do it. And all of these things today, now you're getting medication, you're doing this and you're doing that. But she gave us methods and ways to get by, and we had no issues at all.
Yeah. Well, back then when you grew up in the South, they, coming through our grandparents' days and before them, they lived off the land, so they knew the herbs and things like that they would capture, and they knew how to put it all together and give it to you so that you could, get better. And those same herbs and those same treatments that they use that the Black woman did back in slavery and through generations, they were able to get that. It was passed on from generation to generations because, like I said, they lived off the land. But the same herbs that they were able to put together and make medicine is what the pharmaceutical companies use now.
Yes.
It's the same thing they use now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but this is what they knew to do. They didn't go to any schools.
No.
They didn't learn that from their slave owners or any of them. They learned that because that's what they either brought from Africa or they experimented with it and say, let's do this and let's do that. They were smart enough to do that. They were
He was very
resilient.
smart.
They were resilient people, and the women were resilient.
Yes.
And they kept, moving forward, even though their family was separated. They
Yeah.
moved forward. They knew what they had to do. But as Malcolm X said, in which you quoted from the beginning, we're the most disrespected women in this country, and the most unprotected.
Yes.
Um,
Very much so.
yeah, but I think also, many people look at what's going on now, with a lot of our young people and things like that, but they too will come home, okay? Because when you're young, you may venture out a little bit, but when you have a strong family basis and you have that culture and someone's saying, baby, you ain't supposed to be doing that, you need to do this, that, and the other, they do come home.
Yeah.
They recognize it, but they're caught up in a system of trying to survive,
Right.
in a system where there's such hate and such pain because the pigmentation of your skin. And you turn around and you say, how sick is that? How sick is that another human being, okay, who bleeds like you do, who have a heart like you do, have all the organs that you have, that they have in their body, and just because your skin color is different, hates you so much.
Hate you so much.
That's the ignorancy that you see in the world today.
Yeah.
And it's totally sad
It is.
because they have been so brainwashed to think that the only way you can make it in society is to down another group of people. And that's not so.
No.
That's not so, because you still don't make it. If you're of different color and you're poor, you're going to stay poor. And you
That's
know
right.
why? Because the government makes it that way.
That's right.
And you choose not to see it. You choose not to look at everything when you go to vote, and you sit back and let it happen and say, well, at least I'm better than this race. But you're not.
No.
You're no better. You're fighting for scraps on your table. You're trying to go out here and get a job, and you're trying to protect your children just like any other race. And women are the forefront of trying to keep it all together.
Right.
So that I think as a Black woman, we have a lot, but we bounce back. We know what's important. We know how to continue to make it work. Okay, we may not have in the next 3 years, prices are going to be up. It's going to be hard sometimes for us to put food on the table, but guess what? We know how to do it.
We will make it.
We know how to survive.
Because in other words, we've been trained by the best. And when I say the best, it's from generation to generation to generation. That is what I call the best, because we're accustomed to doing it. So being in a poor or poorly positioned is what we're accustomed to.
Yeah.
So we just go with the flow. We go with the flow. We're not going to go and commit suicide because you don't have that.
Yeah.
Where some of our counterpartners would do that.
Yeah. Because they're not used to it.
They're not used to it.
They're not used to being down. They're not used to it.
Right. That's
We
right.
know once you're down, you're going to rise.
You're going to rise.
You have your trust in God, and you're going to rise.
Yes.
And you're going to have food on that table, and you're going to be able to eat one way or another. Because you know what? There's another sister out there that's going to say, you hungry, baby? Come on over here and get something to eat.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That is what's going to happen.
Yes.
So
We have always been, from way back in slavery days, if one doesn't have it, we can connect together. You may not have that peanut, but so-and-so may have that, or so-and-so will have that flour, and we put it all together. We make one meal, and we can all eat together.
that's right. That's right.
The glory. And that's how it is. That's why we as a people have to stick and stay together and make things work.
Right. Right. And the Black women have to stick together.
Yes.
We have to stick together and know what's important.
Yes.
Okay. We can't let all this other stuff pull us apart.
Right.
You know, we have to stand together.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We build from each other's strength.
Yes.
And that's what happens in this world today.
Yeah.
So I would say, don't be down on yourself. Know who you are. Keep going. You've always been that type of person. So just continuously know what you got to do. We are resilient. We are
Yes.
somebody that's going to bounce back. We are strong. We are loving, kind. We have it where there are other people may not. You're going to see it in us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Give
And there's so many ways that we can practice self-love
Yes.
And boost our self-esteem. Embrace your natural beauty. You
Yes.
know, wear your hair the way you want to wear it.
That's
You know,
right.
if you got the coarse kind of hair, baby, ain't nothing wrong with you. Just as gorgeous as you can be.
Yeah.
Accept your features.
That's right.
Set healthy boundaries. You
Mm-hmm.
know, get up
Yeah.
every day with positive affirmations. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
remind yourself that you are beautiful,
Yeah.
worthy, and enough.
Mm-hmm.
Engage in self-care practices with your hair, with your skin. Invest in personal growth,
Yes.
you know, and most of all, support your community.
Yes. That's right.
That's very important. And now religion is extremely important. You know,
Mm-hmm.
find a church that you can go to that, you know, that you feel comfortable in and you can support each other.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And we got to understand times are going to get harder before they get better.
Yeah.
So definitely, as you say, connect with somebody's church.
Mhm.
Not if you're not someone that doesn't like to go to church, then connect with some type of a committee, a group, somebody, a support system, because you're going to need it. You're going to need these things, and if for nothing else, for mental health,
Mhm.
because you do not want to go awry. Not at this stage of the game. I
No.
mean, you done came too far now. We got to keep going forward, not backwards.
Right, right, right. And support each other. Support
Yes,
each other. Support your sisters, you
yes,
know,
yes.
in what's going through. Be very supportive of them, even in your work environment. Okay, be supportive of your sister. If you got a sister that's in a leadership position, be supportive of her because there's so much that's going through
That's
that she's not getting the affirmations that she needs,
that's
you
right.
know, and you know, she may be the only one that's in that group,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's over you
Yes.
know, but support that
Support it.
because she needs that.
That's right. That's right. So
Mhm.
in saying that, do you have anything else that you'd like to add? Are you all set?
No, I'm all set. And you know, the only thing that I can add is black women are phenomenal.
Yes,
You
they are.
know, and if you got girls, black girls, teach them.
Yes.
Let them know that they are phenomenal, that they are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're intelligent, and they can be whatever they want to be.
That's
And
right.
never let anyone tell them that they can't,
Mm-hmm.
because they can. Hold their heads up high.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. So in saying that, we are living our ancestors' wildest dreams. Can you just imagine? And so I say to each and every one of you out there, make the best of all of it. Because, yeah, our ancestors could just imagine all of this now. They could just imagine it. So I'd like to leave you with this Proverbs 31:30 NIV. Charm is deceptive, and beauty is fleeting. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. To God be the glory.
Absolutely. Amen to that.
Yes. So we say again, thank you all again for being great supporters, continuously supporting us. And we just appreciate you all. And send these messages out because it's so needed. And just keep hitting that like button and sending those comments because we look forward to it. And again, thank you. Be blessed and have a great and wonderful night. Bye bye, Jess.
Absolutely.
Good night, Ronnie.
Love you. Bye bye.
Bye.